Okay, ever stop and think about all those WhatsApp chats?
Yeah.
The photos, the messages, the little voice notes. Where does it all actually go? And maybe more importantly, who's looking after it? We kind of assume it's just safe, right? Well, today we're doing a deep dive into exactly that. WhatsApp chat history, how it's managed, backed up, and some pretty surprising security stuff, too. Our goal here is really to give you the insights to manage your own digital footprint better. Because here's the first big surprise, really. WhatsApp. They don't actually keep your chat history on their servers. Nope, keeping it safe. That's actually entirely down to you. Okay, let's unpack this a bit. So if WhatsApp isn't the one storing our history, then where exactly is it? Well, there are basically two main places. First, you've got a copy stored locally right there on your phone. For Android users, you might find it tucked away in a specific app folder. On iOS, it's a bit different, more integrated into the whole device back.
Right, it's part of the system backup on iPhone.
Exactly. And then, for convenience mostly, there are the cloud backups. Think Google Drive if you're on Android, or iCloud for iOS.
Yeah, those are meant to make switching phones easier, restoring your chats.
But here's where things get interesting, maybe even a little tricky. These standard cloud backups. They're just like a single snapshot in time. So every time a new backup runs, it completely wipes out the old one. Just gone.
Mm-hmm. No going back to last Tuesday's backup if you needed it.
Precisely. No version history at all. And get this, with Google Drive, there's another catch. If you don't update that backup for, say, 5 months, Google might just delete it. Poof. Vanished.
Oof. Yeah, that's definitely something to keep in mind. And what's really fascinating here, I think, is how many people assume these backups just because they're with Google or Apple must be super secure by default.
Right, you'd think so.
But, and this is crucial, they are not end-to-end encrypted when they're just sitting there in the cloud by default.
Right.
So think about it. If someone gets into your Google account or your iCloud account...
then those backups are exposed.
Exactly. Your chat history could potentially be read. That's a significant blind spot for a lot of us.
Okay, so let me just clarify this for everyone listening. Even though my WhatsApp messages are encrypted when I send them...
Yes. In transit.
The moment they land in that standard Google Drive or iCloud backup, they're essentially unencrypted.
Yeah.
Unless I take extra steps. That feels like a pretty big gap.
It is. It really is.
So what's the fix? What does WhatsApp offer if you want to properly lock down those stored chats? Is there like a gold standard?
There absolutely is. And that's using end-to-end encrypted backups. We call it E2E.
Okay.
Now, your messages themselves are always E2E when you send them, but for the backups in the cloud, you have to actually turn this feature on yourself. It's a manual step.
You got to opt in.
You do. And when you set it up, you'll create either a password or, for like maximum security, you get this unique 64-digit encryption key. Think of it as a super, super long, one-of-a-kind password that locks that backup down tight.
And here is, I think, the most critical part about this E2E backup, the really high security option. If you forget that password you set, or worse, you lose that incredibly long 64-digit key, WhatsApp cannot help you. They can't reset it. They can't recover your key. They can't restore your backup. Nothing.
Nothing. It's like losing the only key to a physical vault.
Your data is just gone, irretrievably lost.
And that really brings it home, doesn't it? It puts the responsibility squarely, entirely on you. With E2E backups, you get this, unparalleled level of security. But the flip side, the trade-off, is that risk of permanent data loss if you aren't incredibly careful with that password or key. It's a really profound shift. It's about control, but also the burden that comes with that control. True privacy has its demands.
It really does. That's a huge responsibility to place on the user. Powerful, yes, but also maybe a bit daunting for some. So what about other options, or maybe just best practices we should all be thinking about, especially if that E2E key management feels like too much?
Well, one really useful tool, especially when just moving phones, is the direct chat transfer.
Yes, the QR code thing.
Exactly. It lets you move your history directly between two phones, as long as they're the same operating system, like Android to Android or iOS to iOS. It uses a QR code and local Wi-Fi, so it completely bypasses the cloud.
Which is great for privacy and often faster, too.
Often, yes. But it's important to know what it doesn't move. It's mainly messages and media, things like channel updates, any peer-to-peer payment info, even your call history. That stuff typically doesn't come across with the direct transfer, so it's not quite a perfect clone.
Okay, good distinction. Selective, not total. And beyond specific features like that, just good backup hygiene is key.
Absolutely fundamental.
Like actually checking now and then if your backups are even running successfully.
Yes. And making sure you have enough storage space, both on your phone and in your cloud account. Backups fail if there's no room.
Makes sense. And for just general account security, not only chat backups, enabling two-step verification, or 2FA, that's pretty much non-negotiable these days, isn't it?
Should be standard practice for everyone, definitely. Adds a huge layer of protection.
Oh, and you can also export individual chats, right? It's like a text file.
You can, yeah. It creates a .txt file, sometimes with media separately. It's useful for maybe archiving a specific conversation.
But crucially, it's not something you can restore back into WhatsApp later.
No, absolutely not. It's purely a record, like a transcript, not a functional backup. So if we kind of zoom out and connect this all together, the big picture is pretty clear. Your WhatsApp history, it's on you. That's the main takeaway.
Your data, your responsibility.
Precisely. Those E2E backups, they offer amazing security, the best available, really. But they demand that you are absolutely diligent with your password or key. It's power, but it requires careful management.
Right. So strategically, the recommendations seem pretty clear then. First, seriously consider enabling those E2E backups, but understand the responsibility involved. Second, use that direct chat transfer when you're moving between similar phones. It's often simpler and avoids the cloud. And third, just maintain that consistent backup routine. Check it, make sure you have space, enable 2FA, basic digital housekeeping.
Standard advice.
So it leaves us with a thought, doesn't it? In our lives that are becoming more and more digital, how much of our own personal data are we actually truly managing ourselves? And what hidden complexities or maybe risks are we kind of overlooking just for the sake of things being easy or convenient? Something to perhaps mull over until our next deep dive.